You're cordially invited to celebrate the birth of Sean Puffy Combs.
Puffy. P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy. If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
Diddy offered a $50 million bond, surrendered passport, and proposed home detention, but the USDA deemed him a flight risk.
Oprah Winfrey. Yeah, that Oprah, the queen of talk shows and media royalty, just got caught up in a whole new level of scandal. For years, she's been whispered about in elite circles, folks saying she's not the squeaky clean icon we all thought. But now, with Diddy facing the music for his dark and twisted legacy, it looks like Oprah is clutching her pearls, because rumor has it, she's next. Turns out Oprah might be more entangled in Diddy's mess than anyone could have imagined. Word on the street is that to dodge the spotlight on her own secrets, Oprah didn't just turn on Diddy, she went to court and actually admitted to helping facilitate his SA ring. Yep, you heard that right. The woman America trusted to guide them through life's toughest challenges is now wrapped up in one of the darkest sagas Hollywood's ever seen. The way it's looking, this might just be the tip of the iceberg. And if Oprah's sweating, you know it's serious. It's no secret that Diddy and Oprah have been known for waving the flag of black excellence. But now, folks are taking a closer look, and what they're finding is far from anything excellent. Allegations are swirling that these two weren't just partners in public, they were allegedly knee-deep in a disturbing business behind closed doors. All that glitz, glamour, and mutual praise, it was just smoke and mirrors, hiding what might be a much darker reality. Apparently, Diddy's infamous all-white parties were more than just flashy events. They were a front, a spectacle, and Oprah, of all people, allegedly played a big part in hyping them up. One particular video, recently leaked and raising eyebrows all over, shows celebrities, Oprah included, singing Diddy's praises and gushing over his lavish lifestyle.
You're cordially invited to celebrate the birth of Sean Puffy Combs.
Puffy. P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
P. Diddy.
Even Donald Trump referred to Diddy as the legendary music icon. So, you know it was a Met Gala type event.
Big boy!
The legendary Puff Daddy. P. Diddy. Yes. Puff Daddy.
Cheese Puff!
But with the allegations surrounding Diddy's private life, this whole narrative felt disturbingly off. How did Oprah, known for her philanthropic work and empowerment of women, end up here? Social media is blowing up with reactions as the leaked footage has fans divided. Hashtags like #DiddyOprahLeak and #party footage are trending, with folks questioning the cozy relationships between Oprah and Diddy. Were these parties just harmless fun, or did they hide something more sinister? And Oprah's enthusiasm, her laughter, her fascination during a 2006 interview with Diddy, where he dodged questions about his mysterious Puff Daddy moniker and gushed about his parties, seems a lot stranger in retrospect. It gets even darker, y'all. The same parties that Oprah couldn't stop raving about are now coming to light in the ugliest way possible. Turns out these weren't just high-profile soirees. They were allegedly hiding something much more sinister. And it's not just rumors anymore. Adult entertainer Adria Sherry English has come forward with a lawsuit detailing horrifying experiences from these so-called exclusive events. She's claiming she was forced to engage in non-consensual acts at Diddy's famous all-white parties, events Oprah once celebrated and hyped up herself. English describes those parties as anything but glamorous. Held in the Hamptons with celebrities, influencers, and athletes galore, these events were apparently fueled by drinks that were spiked to lower everyone's inhibitions. English says the D's were so strong that she often didn't even remember how she made it home. And that no AC policy Diddy insisted on? That was no accident. It was all part of a setup to get folks hot, drunk, and vulnerable.
If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous.
In an interview, she said, "I felt that if I did not comply, the music mogul would ruin my music career, which he promised he would help me build." The explicit parts of the parties began after most guests had left late in the night. Now, these claims have sparked a full-blown federal investigation, with Diddy sitting in custody as the shocking allegations pile up. For Oprah, who built her career as a voice of empowerment, her enthusiastic connection to these parties is a bombshell that's left everyone questioning. What else don't we know about these so-called icons? The glitz and glam of Hollywood are often enough to distract fans from the shadows lurking behind the scenes. And for someone as powerful as Oprah Winfrey, those shadows seem to grow deeper with each passing scandal. Known for her empire of influence, Winfrey's connections with figures like Harvey Weinstein, Sean Diddy Combs, and Jeffrey Epstein have started raising serious questions about what truly goes on behind her carefully crafted image. Years ago, Oprah's close ties with Weinstein allowed him to gain victims' trust, with actress Katie and Noble even recounting how his connection to Oprah convinced her to follow him back to a hotel. Once Weinstein's crimes became public, Oprah quickly separated herself, sidestepping any accountability. When asked by CBS, she pivoted the conversation, saying, "If we make this just about Harvey Weinstein, then we will have lost this moment." But that didn't fool anyone. Even musician Seal called her out, pointing out the irony of her claiming ignorance to the rumors surrounding Weinstein. "Oh, I forgot, that's right. You heard the rumors, but you had no idea he was actually serially assaulting young starry-eyed actresses, who in turn had no idea what they were getting into. My bad. When you've been part of the problem for decades, but suddenly they think you are the solution." But the interesting thing about this is there were suddenly battery charges leveled against Seal only 5 days after calling Oprah out. The charges, however, were miraculously dropped after a few days. But an inside source revealed that Seal's accuser reported the singer to police in Los Angeles after she noticed that he had accused Oprah Winfrey of knowing about Harvey Weinstein's offenses. And it doesn't stop with Weinstein. Oprah's name pops up in court files from the Epstein trial, and her appearances at Diddy's infamous parties have only added fuel to the fire. Yet despite the media frenzy surrounding others in Epstein's circle, Winfrey's associations remain underreported, dismissed, or entirely ignored by major outlets. So, there's the dark cloud hanging over her South African girls' school, intended as a sanctuary for underprivileged girls. The Oprah Winfrey Leadership Academy for Girls instead became the scene of allegations that involved a dormitory matron charged with multiple counts of A. The headmistress later sued Oprah for defamation, a case that was quietly settled out of court. What's truly unsettling is how these stories barely make a ripple in the mainstream press.
Something strange is going on with Oprah Winfrey's South African School for Girls.
Go look and see what happened to them girls.
Articles and reports seem to vanish, with only smaller outlets and social media holding Oprah's feet to the fire. For years, she's managed to sidestep serious accountability, and the selective media coverage just adds to the growing skepticism surrounding her spotless reputation. But not anymore. It's no secret that Oprah Winfrey has built a reputation on advocating for truth and justice. But when it comes to certain powerful figures in Hollywood, her stance seems to blur. Case in point, just take a look at her maneuvers surrounding Michael Jackson and her so-called friendship with him. Back in 1993, Oprah scored a rare, exclusive interview with the King of Pop, an opportunity so coveted it solidified her influence not only in the US, but worldwide. Jackson, notoriously private, allowed her a glimpse into his guarded world, a move that Oprah capitalized on to bolster her own fame. But in a shocking twist, years after his passing, Oprah shifted her narrative dramatically. When the Leaving Neverland documentary surfaced, filled with allegations against Jackson, Oprah dedicated an entire segment to interviews with his accusers, Wade Robson and James Safechuck. By airing their claims, she indirectly lent them credibility, even though both men had previously testified in court that Jackson was innocent. For fans of Jackson, it felt like a betrayal, especially considering Oprah had presented herself as a friend. And it doesn't stop there. This is the same Oprah whose long-standing ties with other notorious figures, Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein, are widely known, yet rarely criticized. From industry parties to red carpet events, she mingled with these men for years, despite later revelations about their predatory behavior. Her connection to Weinstein, in particular, ran so deep that some believed she might have been privy to his activities before they came to light. However, people have been calling out Oprah's troubling double standards when it comes to her associations and advocacy. Then there was the British actress Katie and Noble, who exposed how Oprah and Naomi Campbell allegedly helped Weinstein manipulate young women, claiming Oprah's connection made her feel she could trust him. In a world where image is everything, Oprah's moves raised some serious questions. While she positions herself as an advocate against A, she's been closely tied to some of Hollywood's most troubling figures, leading many to wonder just how much does Oprah really know, and how much does she choose to ignore?
He was with Naomi Campbell. He had Oprah Winfrey there with him, who entered the room and was swinging off his arm and just seemed like a very dear friend.
Combs didn't act alone, according to federal prosecutors, who are now uncovering a vast network allegedly involved in his criminal activities. Combs, long a towering figure in the music industry, stands accused of orchestrating a web of crimes that include bribery, threats, and ST. But what's shocking is how many people, from his personal assistants to high-ranking supervisors, are implicated in carrying out and enabling these actions. The indictment paints a disturbing picture, suggesting Combs utilized his own employees to facilitate his notorious freak-offs, events marked by alleged coercion and Prosecutors claim that his inner circle wasn't just aware of these parties, but played key roles in ensuring they went off without a hitch. From making travel arrangements to sourcing Ds, and even recruiting the women involved, these employees were allegedly essential in keeping the operation running smoothly. Former federal prosecutor Manny Medrano believes that many of Combs' employees may soon face charges of their own, while some could take deals to testify against their former boss. Medrano explains that the level of accountability may vary. Lower-level staff like housekeepers who cleaned up after these events may face less scrutiny, but those involved in actively recruiting women or handling logistics will be under intense federal investigation. Medrano also speculates that Diddy wasn't the only high-profile face in the room. With celebrities and influencers reportedly attending these gatherings, the potential fallout could impact an entire circle of powerful individuals.
Diddy didn't do it alone. Where are all the celebrities and friends that hung around Diddy? Did they really not know all of this information?
As the case progresses, Combs' defense team is expected to argue that the women participated willingly, framing these interactions as consensual rather than coercive. But if prosecutors prove otherwise, Medrano notes Combs could face a lifetime in federal prison. The federal investigation has cast a wide net, and those who enabled his alleged actions may soon find themselves under the same scrutiny as authorities dig deeper into this network of and intimidation. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, didn't hold back on his thoughts. He laid it all out, saying, "Listen here, all those ones who made it to the Diddy party, the after party, and the hotel lobby, they're not going to ruin their brand by speaking up. Deal isn't wrong. All those big names who've attended Diddy's infamous parties, not a single one has publicly denounced him yet. It's silence across the board." Deal recalled a recent incident on Channel 2 News in New York, where anchors were discussing Diddy's public apology and his history with Cassie. But just as they promised more commentary, they cut to a commercial break and never returned to the topic. To Deal, it felt like another example of Diddy's influence at work, signaling that powerful allies might still be protecting his image. Deal's frustration was palpable, noting that Diddy's connections reached deep into the Hollywood elite, including with Oprah and that whole crowd linked to figures like Weinstein and Epstein. I was watching the other day, and they had him on Channel 2 News here in New York. Gayle King, Nate, and the other guy, they were talking about it. They showed him beating Cassie, showing his apology, the whole 9 yards, and then they said, "We have a commentary about that, but we've got to go to a commercial." They never came back and said nothing about it. It was like, yo damn, he still got power like that? Gene's frustration is palpable, but Gene is confident about one thing, that the public is already canceling him. It's the industry, his old party crowd and high-profile connections who still seem to hesitate to cut ties or take a stand. According to Deal, all those A-list guests who've attended Diddy's infamous parties, celebs, socialites, industry insiders, are all choosing to stay quiet, prioritizing their brands and reputations over coming forward with the truth. No one's willing to risk the backlash of association or admit what they might have seen behind closed doors.
All those people who went to those Diddy parties, not one of them had came out and denounced.
All right, here's the tea, y'all. Word on the street is that things might be getting spicy between Gayle King and Oprah Winfrey, all thanks to Diddy's messy, scandalous situation. Yes, you heard that right. Rumor has it that Gayle's got a bone to pick with her bestie, Oprah, and sources are saying she might even be thinking about suing her. If this is true, Oprah might be in way more trouble than she wants us to know. So let's break it down. Ever since Diddy got caught up with them heavy charges, ST, racketeering, the whole 9 yards, the whispers started. Folks are saying that Gayle, who's been Oprah's ride or die for years, is actually mad because she thinks Oprah might have known a bit more than she let on. Now, Gayle's not one to hold her tongue, so you already know she might be considering her options, and a lawsuit is one way to let Oprah know she's serious. Some insiders claim Gayle feels like Oprah might have looked the other way with Diddy. Yep, as in she might have turned a blind eye when it came to Diddy's questionable gatherings and connections. And you know Gayle, she's not about to let that slide if she thinks it's true. So now people are talking about how this could be a massive fallout, like bigger than any reality TV drama. If Gayle actually goes through with this, we might be in for a front row seat to a serious showdown. I mean, imagine. Anyway, now that Oprah has also turned her back on Diddy, federal prosecutors say Diddy's lawyers are trying to take control of his criminal case, pushing for early disclosure of evidence, including the identities of his accusers. Prosecutors are asking the judge to reject this request, calling it blatantly improper. Defense lawyers are pushing for victim identities and other evidence to be disclosed. But prosecutors argue that this is an attempt to undermine the government's case. They've also requested a gag order to stop accusers' lawyers from speaking out, claiming media leaks are threatening a fair trial. Prosecutors shot back, saying the requests were a thinly veiled attempt to restrict the government's proof at this early stage of the case and to hijack the criminal proceeding so the defendant can respond to civil lawsuits. This demand should be squarely rejected, especially in light of the risk it poses to witnesses' safety. And as the defendant well knows, there is zero legal authority for his attempt to co-opt this criminal proceeding to defend against civil litigation. Diddy has been in federal custody since his September 16th arrest, with his trial set for May 5th. A judge denied his bail, citing concerns about potential obstruction of justice and witness tampering. He faces charges of coercion and abusing women, with prosecutors claiming he used his power in the industry for years to force women into acts with male workers, part of a broader racketeering conspiracy dating back to 2008. Things just got even wilder in Diddy's case, and trust, no one saw this coming. Apparently, some of Diddy's high-powered defense attorneys are jumping ship, and get this, the biggest name to step back is none other than Mark Agnifilo, the main man himself. Word is, he didn't waste a second. As soon as the court started talking about the new evidence, Agnifilo was spotted hightailing it out of the courthouse. Talk about a dramatic exit. Now, Agnifilo hasn't said a peep publicly, but insiders are buzzing that it all started with those flash drives getting introduced as evidence. Whatever's on those drives must be serious, because if it's enough to scare off Diddy's top attorney, we know it's got to be bad. People close to the case are saying that Agnifilo might have been caught off guard by just how intense these allegations really are.
Out of the 8 celebrities who were recorded having intimate relations with Sean Combs, how many of them appear to be either inebriated or intoxicated or under the influence?
All of them. All of them.
Out of those 8, how many appear to be potentially victimized? How many might have been victimizing?
I think all, to be honest, all.
Were victims?
Well, it's safe to say that Diddy's ship is sinking, and Oprah is just another dead weight on it. That's all for today. We hope you liked that video, and if you did, be sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more videos like this.